you are in a comfortable seated position, you can have your legs any way you like. We're going to just begin by bringing our awareness internally, taking it away from what's happening outside, and just trying to bring our focus into our physical body, our thoughts, our feelings, and our heart. So wiggle your sits bones around a little bit just to make sure you're firmly rooted. And then rock back and forth a few times. You want to be sitting with your pelvis just a little bit forward so that your spine is elongated. And then come into your sweet spot. Rest your hands comfortably wherever they may fall. And begin to focus in on your breath. Notice the sound of your breath and the quality and feeling of the air as it enters through your nostrils and as it exits. On your inhales, allow your spine to elongate slightly, creating space between the vertebrae. And as you exhale, allow the shoulders to relax down. If you want to create an intention for your practice today, this is the time to do it. Something that you want to work on in the class or in your life. And we're going to begin by inhaling and lifting the arms up. Very slowly, just feel those shoulder blades drop down. Allow the tops of your shoulders to drop down. Tighten up a little bit on your core and then lift the arms straight up overhead. Keep the chin tucked. Feel that spine from root to tip. And then lift your arms alternately, stretching out the side body. So you're not twisting, you're just separating the ribs. And then lift both arms together. And then clasp your hands together and flip your wrists over so that the heels of your hands are pointing up towards the ceiling, keeping that chin tucked. Reach it up. Reach it up. Feel the shoulder blades come together in the back. And then slowly, slowly, slowly tip to one side, keeping the alignment, keeping both hips on the mat. Come back up to center, and then slowly tip over to the other side, keeping those shoulder blades touching in the back. And come back up and float your arms down by your sides. Take a nice deep breath in. So we're going to take the legs out in front of us now and shake them out a little bit. And bring your hands slightly behind you and then flex and point your toes. Try to keep your shoulders rolled back. Just flexing and pointing. You can spread your toes as you flex and point. And then rotate the feet in opposite directions, 5 or 6 times in each direction. and then come back up. And if you normally cross your legs a certain way, try to cross them in the opposite direction. I can't even remember. All right, so we're going to place one arm down on the mat, shoulder, ear, and hip in alignment. And on the other side, check the alignment too, and then lift that arm up. And we're going to do some more side stretching. So what I want you to focus on this time is trying to keep the side that we're actually bending into longer. So you're not crunching it up. You're keeping that side long as you lengthen and move out to the side. Once you come to your edge, check your alignment again with your shoulders and ears and hips. And just take a few deep inhales and exhales here. And then slowly walk the hands back in and come up to seated. And before we do the other side, just notice that wonderful feeling of spaciousness. Sometimes I notice that when I start to feel cramped in my mind, I also start to feel cramped in my body. So keeping your body spacious is another way to keep your mind spacious. So we can kind of work the two together. So bring your other hand down, check your alignment, keeping this side of the body that we're leaning into long. I'm going to take that other arm up and begin to stretch over. Working on alignment here. In Yin, we don't work on alignment, but in Hatha Yoga, we really are concerned with how our body is in time and space. And it's not how far you go, but how beautifully you can stay in alignment. And again, that mind-body connection. If your mind is in alignment and your body is in alignment, yay. So if you can't get one in alignment, work on the other. Sometimes I think it's easier to start with the body. Breathe. And slowly come up. And we're going to do some footwork again. So we're going to alternate between doing the shoulders and the legs. So we're going to take our legs out again, stretch them out. And we're going to cross the, well, it doesn't matter which leg. Take one leg over and put your ankle on the opposite knee. And let's just do a few cat-cow movements here. So we're taking the chest forward and back. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to do rock the baby. So we're going to lift up our leg and place it in our arms. We're just going to rock back and forth, opening up that hip joint. And then see if you can lift it up and down a little bit. Try not to curl up with your body. And then we're going to hold on to the foot and just rotate the foot with your hand in both directions. Release that leg. And we'll bring the other leg in. So we're going to pick it up. This is my colicky baby. So you're going to rotate your hip joint from side to side. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. And then lift that leg up and down. Drop it onto the knee and then rotate your foot with your hand. And stretch it out. So come back into tailor pose if you were in it, and we're going to do a simple twist. So we're going to take one arm, place it behind you, drop the shoulders down, take the other arm and place it on the opposite knee. Try to tuck those shoulder blades together in the back, keep the chin tucked, and just take a few breaths here in the beginning of a twist. And then take a nice full inhale and see if you can twist from the hips over a little bit further. And take a few breaths here. Relax the hips, relax the thighs. Don't over twist your neck. Keep your neck somewhat in alignment with the shoulders. And then slowly walk the hands back to center and pause here for a moment. So we set the spine this way. Now we're kind of twisting it this way. So they say, like I said many times, you want to move your spine in as many directions as possible at the beginning of the day to kind of wake it all up. So we'll take the other arm behind the back, drop the shoulders down, and then take the hand to the opposite knee. So your shoulders and your head are in alignment here. So your chin is in between the two shoulders. And this may be enough of a twist for you. You don't want to over twist because then you'll over twist your neck. So we're going to inhale here. And if you have more twist in you, you can twist from the waist and come a little bit further around. Relax the hips and thighs and take a few deep breaths. And very slowly come back to center. Do some cat and cow movements. And take your legs out in front of you again. Bring your hands behind you. Clasp your hands together behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Tuck in the chin. And see if you can lift your arms up in humble arms. Hold for a few breaths. Relax those thighs. And release the arms. All right, so we're going to stay seated. We're going to do some wide leg work. So take your legs wide and really get a little forward on that pelvis so that you're leaning slightly forward, but your spine is straight. We're going to do some forward folding. And first I'm going to do is bring the hands right out in front, wherever they fall. So sometimes I like to start by bringing my arms up into the air. And then just come forward with a straight back as far as possible, and then drop my hands down to the mat and see where they land. So that is my first edge. So here we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back, push out through the heels, and see if you can come forward just a little bit more with a straight back. Wherever, don't round down, so wherever you are is perfect. And we're going to stay here for a few minutes, relaxing those legs, getting those muscles to really work. You may find you get a little more forward movement. This is where the yin yoga comes in, because since I've been doing yin, it's just a lot easier to do some forward folding. So take a few breaths wherever you've landed, trying to relax your body but keep some energy in it. And then slowly walk your hands over to one leg, putting your hand on either side of the leg, a little bit of a twist in the hips here. Try to keep that back straight. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths and feel a nice stretch in the side that you're twisting away from. Keep that hip tacked down onto the mat. And then slowly walk the hands back, and we're going to take them over to the other side. Hand on either side of the other leg, keeping that hip that we're coming away from tacked down, and fold forward over the legs. Shoulders are away from the ears, heading down the back. Come back to center. Come back up. Bring your knees in, place your feet on the mat, place your hands behind you, and we're going to come into a reverse table here, so lift up your hips. Take a few breaths. And then slowly come down. Just pause for a moment here, bring your hands back onto your legs and just come into the position we started in and feel that energy, that prana circulating through your physical body. I'm going to do a pose that we haven't done, I think, since we've been working from home. So we're going to come onto our side. So you can come onto your side. We'll start by lying down on the side. So lie down on your side. Take your legs out straight. Feel yourself at a right angle to the mat. If you want to make sure that you're not tilting too far forward or too far back. You can use your hand in front of you to keep you in this position. Now, if it works for your body, we're going to come up onto our elbow. Keep that beautiful alignment. This is in itself like a little banana pose from Yin. So we're going to do some leg lifts here. We're just going to do 5 very slow, controlled leg lifts. Try not to sink. Try to keep yourself up. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then we're going to take that top leg. I'm going to bring it right out in front of you. So now you're at a beautiful angle to the mat. Your foot is giving you some control here. And you're going to take that elbow in and you're going to lift up the lower leg and bring your arm up into the air. And slowly lower down. Keep that leg in front. Grab onto your ankle and lift that leg straight up into the air. And release it down. Okay. Come down onto your belly, since we're down here already. And drop your forehead down onto your forearms. Lengthen out your legs and then bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and we'll come into Sphinx pose. Bring your awareness down to the sacral area. Just feel all those beautiful connections, joints, cartilage. Feel everything soften and relax. This is an important nexus of nerves and meridians, so we want to keep everything here nice and free and spacious. So don't tense up. Relax your buttocks, relax your thighs, relax your belly. And staying up in this Sphinx pose, we're going to take the leg that we just had out and we're going to bring it out to the side here. So you feel that opening in the inner thigh. Take some full breaths here. Keep everything soft. Listen to your body. Slide that leg down. And we're going to come onto the other side so we can do the side body work on the other side. I'm going to just turn myself around. You don't have to. So come onto your side. Come down onto the mat first. And then if it works with your body, you can come up onto your elbow to do the leg lifts. Slow and controlled. The side may be very different. Try to keep up. Don't let your body collapse. I don't have a... Whoa. Nice and controlled. And now we're going to take that top leg and bring it over to the front, checking your alignment. We're going to lift up into a half faux plank, I guess you'd call this. And slowly come down. Grab onto your ankle of the leg on the top and come up. Slowly drop the leg down, come back over onto your belly. Come down onto your forearms. Slide those elbows back for Sphinx. Relax the pelvis, the sacrum. And then slide the other leg out to the side in baby tadpole, opening up the groin area to let the energy flow through the meridians that rise up through that nexus. All right, so let's slide that leg back. We're going to come up into table pose. So carefully, slowly and carefully, come up onto your hands and knees. And we're going to do some cat-cows and table. So come into your aligned shoulders, wrists, hips, knees. Inhale, and then exhale, round. Inhale, drop the belly, and lift the chin. And just continue at your own pace, pressing more into the fingers than into the wrists. Again, keeping that spine nice and juicy through moving it in every direction. And then come back to center, and we're going to do a few tiger moves. So we're going to take the right knee in to the chest and then lift that leg up behind. We'll do that 4 more times. Inhale it in, exhale, lift. Inhale in, exhale, lift. And release that leg. Take the knees wide. Slowly walk back and come into a child pose. Takes a few deep breaths here. helps. Walk the hands back in, come back up onto our hands and knees. Do a couple of cat-cows. And then we'll prepare to do the tiger on the other side. So we're going to bring the left knee in, sweep it up. Do that 4 more times with control. And we're going to be moving up to standing now, so you can come up to standing any way you like. I'm going to come into a down dog and then move into standing. So if you're doing down dog, bring your hands a little forward of your shoulders, curl your toes under and lift up your hips. And then slowly walk your feet in and your hands in. And come up into a mountain pose. I'm going to adjust my monitor. All right, fix that a little bit. Whoops, can't win for losing them. Okay. All right, I guess I can't get my whole body in, but you know these moves anyway. So I'm going to come into mountain pose. And feel the energy coming up from the soles of the feet, all the way up through the hips, the spine, and out the crown of the head. Just make some circles with your wrists here. Fist finger flicks. And then just wiggle everything out. And let's do some willow tree, because we've been doing these static poses, and it's nice to feel the freedom in the joints. Nice full breaths. Whew. And come back to center. So we'll start again with the arm raises. So bring your arms up and overhead. And this time we're going to do a little bit of a back bend. So see if you can elongate your spine, sweep those shoulders in towards each other in the back, and then raise your head up. Don't overdo it, just a little bit of a back bend here. And then bring the arms back down and prepare for chair pose. So sit down in your imaginary chair, sweep your arms out, lift up your toes. So we're going to do a twist in chair now. So I'm going to twist to the right. So I'm going to bring my left hand over to my right knee, and I'm going to bring my right arm up and overhead. And then slowly drop that right arm down, bring it over to my left knee. Take that left arm up, twist to the left. And back to center. And then we kind of slowly roll up, come back into mountain, and feel that prana circulating. And we're going to mimic some of the work we did before on the mat. So we're going to take our legs wide. And we're going to come into a half forward fold here. So half forward fold, micro bend in the knees, feet are straight ahead. Feel the energy coming from the sacrum right up through the crown of the head. And then you can see if you can reach your hands down to the floor. Now turn your toes out slightly. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Turn that left heel so that it's at a right angle to your body. And we're going to cartwheel up into a warrior two. So you can take it slow. You can put one hand on your knee, take that arm up, and come into our warrior two. So the hips are open, the knee is open, the arms are parallel to the mat. We're looking out over that front arm. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths, feeling the power. Tailbone is tucked. Drop the back hand down, turn the front hand over, lift it up to the ceiling. Keep that side body long again, like we did in the seated position. Stretch out the ribs, look up into your elbow. And then bring that front arm down. Place it on the front thigh. Sweep that back arm up and open into a side angle pose. Come back up into your warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten out the legs. Turn the feet so they're facing forward. And we're going to half forward fold again. Micro bend the knees. Come all the way down. Straighten the knees if you can and relax here in the middle. Just pause for a minute. And then we're going to walk those hands around to the other foot. Turn that foot so it's at a right angle to your body. And we're going to cartwheel up here on this side into a warrior two. Check your alignment. Long straight spine, tucked tailbone, front knee is open, hips are open. Looking out over the front hand. Drop your back hand down onto your thigh, turn the front end over, lift it up. Long body, long side body. And then bend that front elbow. Drop it down onto the front thigh. Sweep the back arm up and open. Come back up into the warrior two. And turn the feet forward. Open up the toes again. This time we're going to come down into a mini squat and bring the arms up into a goddess victory squat. Let's inhale up, exhale down. 4 more times. Last one, hold it up, reach, stretch, and come down. Bring your hands onto your hips, walk your feet in, and come back into your mountain pose. And just really feel that prana circulating. And we're going to come into a tree pose now. So first, just place the weight equally on both feet, and let's rock back and forth a few times from the fronts and backs to our feet. Notice where the weight is coming, the weight is falling in your foot, and then we just go side to side a few times. Feel that toe pad, get some nice work. Come up and down on your toes. And we're going to bring our hands to the heart center and find your gravity center here. So right in the center of the bowl of the pelvis, just kind of feel that, where that center is in that solar plexus, second chakra region. And then we'll take one foot out to the side and slide it in so that your heel is touching your opposite ankle. And then notice how that center of balance shifted slightly, and make your adjustments. Find a focal point with your eyes, and then bring that foot up onto your calf. Don't go onto your knee. Use your focal point, find your balance. And if you found your balance, you can bring your arms up into tree. And release. Back into prayer pose. Find your center again. And we'll take the other foot out to the side, slide that heel in so it's touching the ankle. Lift your foot up. Find your focal point and come up into your tree. And release. Back into mountain. Let's make our way back down onto the mat into a seated position. A little closer here. Grab some water if you want to have some. All right, so we're going to do boat pose because I really feel it's important to work that core. So I'm going to go sideways here. First thing I want you to do is to just hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Drop those shoulders down. Maybe lift them up and down a few times and then drop them down. Squeeze those legs in. And then bring your feet down onto the mat. Place your hands beside you or behind you slightly. And lengthen out your spine so you're in beautiful alignment here. So let's raise up one leg. I always find that for me, there's a lot of tightness right around the hip flexors here. And I'm going to raise the other leg up and bring it down. Let's just open the legs out to the side and butterfly for a minute too. Let's bring the knees back together and leaving the legs where they are. We're going to bring the arms out in front of us. And even here you can feel that beautiful tightening of the core. So there's one position we can do in both. The other one is to bring the arms out to the side or up and overhead. So even without the legs, this is a powerful pose. So let's squeeze those knees in again. And we'll do one leg at a time now. So we're going to take the right leg up, bring the arms forward, bring the arms out to the side, and bring the arms up and overhead. And bring them down. Squeeze it in. And we'll do the other leg. Left leg up, forward, side, up and overhead. Now we're going to go into that butterfly legs again. I'm going to come forward, fold forward here, just to release that core and that low back, and just take a few breaths here. And come back up. Legs are bent. We're going to do a full boat. You can do one leg if you want to, or you can bring both legs up, bring your arms forward, leave them forward if you want. You can try bringing them out to the side. Try bringing them up and overhead. And release. Come into butterfly. We're going to do that one more time. Slowly come back up. Bring those knees in. Take that spine back. Lift up your legs. And stay just like this if you want to, holding on to your legs. You can bring your arms forward. And release. Come back down into butterfly. Last time. Just stop here, really breathe, release that low back. And then we're going to slowly make our way down onto the mat. And just take a few breaths here in constructive rest. So take the feet out a little wider. Knees could come in and kiss each other. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Just take a few breaths here and notice the energy flowing. Hopefully everywhere now. We've hopefully touched every little nook and cranny. Maybe not between the fingers, but oh well. So walk your feet back, step them onto the mat fairly close to your buttocks. Bring your arms down by your sides and just walk those arms and hands down closer to the feet. Press the fingers and palms into the mat. Curl the tailbone and come up into a bridge pose. And stay here for 5 breaths. And then we'll come down slowly, chest, waist, hips. Draw your knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. I'm going to take those legs up to the ceiling. Hands can be under the buttocks here. Just allow the circulation to have a little break in the lower extremities. And place your hands on either side of your hips and open up the legs into a wide-legged fold on the mat. Draw those legs in, but bring those knees down towards your armpits and slide the hands up and grab on wherever you reach and come into happy baby. So in happy baby, the lower legs are up towards the ceiling, trying to really get that spine to bend over so you can bring those knees and thighs in towards the torso and just rock back and forth. And then we're going to bring those feet back down onto the mat. We're going to do a little more bridge work. So we've really done some work on loosening up the spine. So we're going to come into a little bit of a bridge flow. So we're going to inhale and lift up your hips and lift your arms up overhead. And we're going to do that 4 more times. So inhale, lift the arms up, lower down. Last one. Inhale them up, sweep them up. Lower down. Hug those knees in. Rock from side to side. And then we're going to bring the arms out to the side. Bring the feet down onto the mat, really close to the buttocks. Lift up the hips. Press into the mat with your feet so that you can bring your left hip over to the right. And then bring those knees up again and take the knees over to the left. Into a twist. And we'll stay here for a bit. Nice deep breaths. Keep those shoulders relaxed on the mat. Bring your arms down by your sides and help your knees back to center. And unravel here for a minute. Lengthen out your legs just to feel the rebound. And then step your feet back in towards your buttocks. Bring your arms out to the side. Press into the feet, lift up the hips. Bring the right hip over to the left. Bring the knees up and bring the knees over to the right. Keeping that left shoulder on the mat. Bring your arms down, bring those knees back. Hug those knees into your chest one last time. And then bring your feet down onto the mat and prepare for your final pose, Shavasana. So come into a comfortable position for your Shavasana where we integrate the practice in stillness. Allow your spine to soften down. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And do that a couple more times. Notice how your physical body is landing on the surface, starting with your feet. Feel your feet being heavy on the mat. Feel your calves, the backs of your hips. Your shoulder blades, the tops of your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists and your hands, the back of your head, everything heavy, sinking into the surface. Now soften all the muscles on your scalp. Smooth out your forehead. Relax your eyelids, your cheeks, your lips, your jaw, whole face relaxed. Soften your neck and shoulders. Relax your arms, your wrists, your hands and your fingers. Both arms completely relaxed. Soften your heart, your rib cage, your belly, and your hips. Whole torso completely relaxed. Relax your thighs, your knees, your calves and shins, your ankles and your feet and toes. Whole legs completely relaxed. Whole body relaxed, floating in Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently nod your head side to side. Bring your arms up and overhead. Take your toes out in front of you. Stretch out. And slowly make your way over onto your side. And when you're ready, you can come up to seated. May all beings be happy and free, and may our thoughts, our words, and our actions contribute in some small way to peace and harmony on our planet. Namaste.
Namaste.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank